Welcome back to Nightly Nonsense, where we make some sense out of some nonsense that's around us. We're talking about intentionality in words. I teased a couple nights ago that we were going to talk about platforms, and then I got caught up in on how about some non-words, right? Not talking moments. But I want to go back to this idea about platforms, and I want you to understand that your words are not just what comes out of your mouth anymore. Most of us have multiple platforms where our words are. Whether that's Facebook, whether that's YouTube, whether that's all of the other different places where you can put words, messaging, right? Emails, all of this stuff. We have words all over the place. It used to be that they would say that, a woman speaks about 50,000 words a day and men speak about half that, 25,000. But I wonder if that includes, right, all of the different platforms now. Now we don't call people up and give them our words. We text them our words. We email our words. The difference between speaking words is most people only comprehend a small percentage of that. They get lost way back here and they don't even hear the rest of the stuff, right? But when you put stuff in writing, it stays forever. It doesn't go away. Even when you hit delete, that's out there somewhere. Somebody has the ability to get that. So we need to be more intentional about what words we're writing, not just speaking. Right? What is it that's going to be around forever? Right? We look at the Bible, right? The Bible, words that have been around for a very, very, very long time. And so these words that were important to certain people way back in, they're still important to us. They were written down and captured. Your words have the power of life and death, not just your spoken word, but your written words. Oh, it's important. It's funny to me how many times autocorrect, right? Things get a little miscued and all of these different platforms because we're typing something and we typed it and then it automatically corrects it to the word that it thinks we should use or that it guessed we were going to use. And we send stuff that we, right, never ever thought that we were going to send. Sometimes jokingly, people take it the right way. Sometimes, right, they don't necessarily take it the right way, right? I think that we need to be careful. We need to be intentional. Are you reading what you're writing? Are you rereading what you're writing? Are you editing what you're writing? Are you hitting delete sometimes? Are you not sending it, right? Are you sending it to the right person? Lots of people have gotten in trouble for sending text messages to the wrong person. Right? Whether they're sending pictures, or whether they're sending things that they shouldn't say, they're talking about somebody else. We need to be careful about all these things. The Bible tells us we're going to be accountable, right, for every single thought, word, and action. Right? We've talked a lot about words the last 3 nights. Talked about this idea of being intentional about these things. Be more intentional about the things that you're typing, the things that you're posting, the pictures that you're posting. How many times people are posting something online and then regretting that they did a little bit later because they didn't stop and think, not only how do I perceive this, but how are other people going to perceive this? I get in trouble frequently because my mind works quicker than my mouth does, and I say things that just don't make any sense, right? I'm just talking. And somebody will look at me and go, did you really just say that? Yep, I really just said that because I'm not paying attention to what it is that I'm saying. When we text things, people don't give us that benefit of doubt. They think that we've actually thought through every word that we're texting and we meant it. And if we don't put an emoji, right? If we don't put an emoji with us, people don't know whether we're laughing, crying, whether we're angry, whether we're frustrated, disappointed, whether we're thinking, whether it's a question, whether it's not. People don't interpret texting, emails, that kind of stuff the same way that they do when we're sitting there talking to people. So again, here's what I want to challenge you with tonight. The first thing is, are you intentional about the platforms you use? Sometimes are you saying, this isn't the right platform? Texting you right now is not the right idea. Everybody wants instant communication now. They want instant answers now. But sometimes your answers are better off when you tell somebody this. Telling somebody they didn't get a job over text is super cold looking. You can text it with tears in your eyes and nobody's going to know that. Answering somebody questions, relaying information, right? Getting information to people. All of these things, it matters what platform we use. Posting pictures and not telling other people that we're going to post it. Not telling them why we're going to post it, where it was, all the details, right? People are going to get offended. All of these things happen because we're just not intentional enough. It used to be I either had to call you on the phone, write you a letter, or show up in person. Before the telephone, I either wrote you a letter, a scroll, something, or I showed up in person. And before scrolls and writing things happened, I had to show up in person. Pretty sure Adam and Eve didn't text each other, nor did they write each other, right? They had to talk to each other. You used to have to send people away, right? You had to send people to go get stuff for you. You had to wait for it to come. There was no Amazon. There's none of these things. So if you want to have good harvest, like we talked about a couple of nights ago, if you want to have a good harvest, then you probably need to be intentional about the platforms you use. How am I getting this information out there? Everybody wants to go viral. They want to be that witty and that great that they say the thing that everybody in the world wants to know or wants this. But man, you don't want to go viral for the wrong reasons, do you? Because then everybody knows you for a totally different reason. So here's my challenge to you. Pay attention to the platforms you're using. Pay attention to the words you're using on those platforms. Read something once, twice, 3 times. Delete, edit it, right? Be involved in your words. Don't just send something and hope that the other person is going to understand. Hey, chew on that. We'll talk to you next time. Nightly Nonsense.